Hey everyone, we're back with Fate Grand Order. Avalon le Fae. Why am I just did dailies. Right, oh, hold on. Before we start though. No. Like, leveled her up a little bit. I got Koyanskaya of Dark. And then I found out Koyanskaya of Light's actually the good one. Nobody wants the dark one. So that sucks. But she's still good though, just... Koyanskaya of Light, I believe, is the Artoria caster equivalent, or like Merlin, or like not Merlin equivalent because they do different things. But anyway, Avalon le Fae. Last time we went to Manchester, talked to our guest in a couple days, and now we're Mashu time. Fragment 8, right? I think it's the 8th one. I mean, they've got to be wrapping this up kind of soon, right? Because, I mean, I assume Mashu returns by the end of part 2? But I mean, maybe she doesn't get back into part 3, I don't know, but... I mean, even though part 3 is not that long, like, she's got to... They've got to be working towards something here. After the incident at the pit, Mashu and Ask begin investigating ruins all around Britain. Oh, time skip? Well, time skip, but... There only leads for stories passed down within the Mir clan and the memorials left by the Rain clan. So they set out from west to east on a great adventure in search of written records left behind by humans. Between running into moors, getting attacked by anti-Londinium fairies, and fighting the occasional giant monster when Ask felt like it, things weren't always easy. But when all is said and done, these travels became lovely memories. Of course, it helped that Mashu was always so strong and awesome no matter what. Who's narrating here? This is Mashu's diary. I mean, Mashu talked to Totogata about keeping one, right? So, I'm gonna guess it's hers. Hey Mashu, when did you call me by some weird... Didn't you call me by some weird name when we first met? Yes I did. Sorry. You, look so much like someone else I know that it just slipped out. Really? Someone out there who looks just like me? What are they like? I spent a little time with her. That's enough for me to know she's a wonderful person. She's brave and kind and dependable. She spent a lot of time in her workshop making all sorts of clothes. Her name is Hamachan. She's a very happy fairy who wants nothing more than to be a friend to brides everywhere. Does Mashu know they're related? Like, she's gotta know. Oh, so there's a fairy like that in the future, huh? Guess her name does sound a lot like mine. The big question is did Totogata die and become Hamachan, or are they the same person and they're just messing with us? Maybe it's a fake name like Ask's. Maybe she's trying to cover up her true name. That's enough, Mashu. You agree not to tell us too much about the future, remember? You're right. Sorry, I thought it would make Totogata happy. I have to think about what I was doing. Gotcha. Can be pretty careless sometimes, huh, Mashu? I'm sorry too. Still... I like the idea of being a friend to brides everywhere too. It sounds like a great life to me. Oh, they had a lot of conversations like that. I thought I'd include one for posterity. This is actually Nasu narrating. Mushroom Man. Anyway, their search through ruins lasted about 5 months. They didn't learn much. Oh, there is a time skip then. They didn't give up either. They kept doggedly pursuing the threads of Britain's history, eventually arrived at the Priestess's prophecy. It was Britain's first prophecy of destruction. A curse left behind by the first human, the priestess of the enshrined deity. Predicted there'd be 4 major wars named after the 4 seasons. What? I mean, so obviously, first thought that comes to mind, is this related to, you know, the... Was she Olga? You know, the creepy statue lady who followed us around everywhere. Was that the alien god, or is that someone else? Not sure. Predicted there would be 4 major wars named after the 4 seasons. The War of Winter had not yet happened. They never did find out what it meant. Oh, that's not gonna Chekhov's gun. Really, all we got from our expedition were a lot of fun memories. While I know I've already written this down several times, let me remind you once again that this took place in Fae Era 400. Now there are only a few days to go until the coronation of Londinium, which would decide the fate of all of Britain. And as one of the key figures in that coronation, Ask needed to return to the castle soon. There, the needlework's all done. Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess she's getting married, huh? That's kind of like, you know, she's one of the most important people there. Can't be late. I mean, you can be late. It's not like, you know, they can start without you. All I have to do now is make the embroidery motifs. I think I'll make a purple rose for Ask and a blue rose for Mashu. Oh yeah, this guy. I mean, his art style just, you know, it's... Why'd they draw him like this? He could be a servant too. Let me see. You did a good job. I have no complaints. You've gone from crybaby to expert. This is why I love handicrafts. Although, not sure about using embroidery for the brooch. Ask's gonna be a queen, so she should have something that shines. Think a pattern of beads modeled after the world tree should do the trick. Here, give me that. Let me show you how it's done. Whoa! Have you always been that good with your hands, Black Knight? Like some sort of sewing master. Totally have changed so much since you came along, Mashu. It's all thanks to you. We've been together for hundreds of years, but I've never seen this side of her before. Really am a terrible friend. I was so caught in the fighting, I never noticed what Totoro was going through. It's always been there for me. There's a thing about she's unable to learn stuff or something. There's something going on. Oh no, it was nothing. Just happened to be in the right place at the right time, that's all. The only reason Totoro got interested in making clothes in the first place is the upcoming coronation. She said she wanted to make you a gown so pretty that you'd be the fairest fairy in all of Britain. The fairiest fairy. So I'm sure she would have gone on to become a great tailor, even if I've never shown up. Ask? Alright, I think you deserve to know at least a little of how I really feel. I'm no savior, Mashu. All I want to do is keep Britain itself alive. I no longer have any intention of saving all its fairies or protecting humans like you. Huh? What are you saying? You are protecting everyone. I've seen it myself. Here's the thing, Mashu. For the last 3,600 years, when dispelling the calamities that appear every 100 years, I mean, you can blame Morgan for that, the great calamities that appear every 1,000. Before, I said I would let the fairies handle the aftermath and go to sleep in a coffin. No, wasn't the whole truth. The truth is, every time I saved them from a calamity, the fairies would come after me. Never known a moment of true peace. The only thing I could do was run for my life and hibernate for years at a time. I'm sure that, at the start, I really did want to build an ideal nation. But not now. Not anymore. Every time I decide to work harder and finally get it right next time, I only end up having more stones thrown at me. But imprisoned, crucified, beheaded, drowned, burned, the only thing they haven't done is poison me. Is this foreshadowing? Is this foreshadowing? It's poisoned me. So by now, I've stopped putting my hopes in fairies. My only companions are Totoro, the Black Knight, and Rhineck. Who? Not even sure about Uther. Even they only see me as an important tool, nothing more. So I only fight to protect Britain for myself. It's the only place I belong. That's why I'm going to unify the fairies and give humans the right to build a kingdom. That's the Britain I want. The sort of story proper human history would never allow. Okay, so what happened that ruined that? Well, I mean, I guess Morgan came along, but... Never been Ask the Savior. I'm just Ask the Witch. But surely there must have been at least one good fairy, right? One who believed in you and understood you? Yeah, like a goblin, bro. Wasn't there ever a single fairy you genuinely wanted to help? No, there wasn't. Or a Gareth, come on! You need a Gareth in your life. Not a single one. That's why things turned out this way. Mashu, you came here from the heir of the High Queen. Don't know which faction you belong to in that time. Could never know, for if I did, that would change what happens in the future. I've been facilitating for a long time now whether to kill you or save you. And I don't think it matters now. This is the Fae era. History entirely of the Tree of Emptiness is making. And as long as that tree exists, anything goes in its lost belt. No matter what may be added to this world, it'll simply adjust its history to match. Now, Ask is kind of... Well, is brutal the right word? You don't expect this out of a saber face. Things don't have to make sense in a world with a Tree of Emptiness. The reason Morgan was so cavalier about using the water mirrors to send things back in time to the Fae era is her awareness that nothing which changed in the Fae era will affect the start of the era of the High Queen. I feel like that's not how time travel works, but okay. You're saying worlds created by trees of infiniteness can tolerate a fair number of discrepancies without falling apart? Well, if you put it like that, Vasha, that makes sense. That's right. That's why I'm here. Fae area is the last point in time where things can be so wibbly-wobbly. The moment you spoke of the heir of the High Queen, I had a flash of insight as to how the future must have played out. She must have used all of the magical energy stored inside the Tree of Infiniteness to transform this last world into a singularity. Okay, so that's why it's still hanging around. I still won't know why she chooses to do that until the time comes, of course. But in the meantime, Mashu, I can tell that you can only exist while the Fae era lasts. In 400 years, the start of the era of the High Queen will disappear whether you're still alive or dead. You do understand that, right? Yes. I arrived in Britain in the year 2019 of the era of the High Queen. Since I didn't exist in that era before that date, when the Tree of Emptiness dies... I swear, just because Fae era's history can be changed, that doesn't give her the right to send every problem she can't handle back to the past and let nature disappear it for her. She started sending servants as well as calamities? Unbelievable. That's just pathetic, is what it is. So I guess the least I can do is make things right. You gonna send Mashu back? Since I'm mixed up in all this too, it's my responsibility to send you to the future you came from. Are you sure? Oh wait, is that even possible? In a way, yes. It should work as long as there aren't any historical inconsistencies leading up to the calamity of Norwich in year 2019 of the era of the High Queen. Can we abbreviate that? So how would you feel about hiding out at the farthest edge of the world, where no one would ever see you? On like the little snowy island in the north? Oh, what the heck? She's gonna be like cryogenically frozen and we find her? I mean, we are going north, aren't we? So that about lines up. Oh, come on. Do the title screen. Do you think the Fae have cryogenics? Like, we just find it in like a highly scientific pod. No, it's not magic, it's science. Cool Collins there for some reason. we're not for sure about that one. Okay, finished it, so get past it and we can start chapter 19? Are we on 18 or 19? Puts. Hey. And we're going way north. Lake region. Right. Remember now. 18. Albion. That's a name. That's like the name for like the antiquated name for Britain, right? So, they're gonna be like shocking truths in this chapter? Maybe. I'll have to eat an apple to find out. And take a drink of water. Yeah, my Tori is 105. Wait, let's see. Let's try to do Buster Loop. Weirdo Ferryman Bust. There we go. We want Oberon to come in the last, don't we? Good to him, I guess. Let's see if we can do this without waiver. Because we should definitely be able to with waiver, right? Like, I don't have Kogan's Guy's skill maxed out yet. So it's like 26%. Yep. Waiver is 50%, which should hopefully be able to do it. Oh, wait. This is the Tree of Emptiness over on the far shore, so this is the Lake District. Does the Lake District exist in your Britain too? Of course, it's one of the UK's biggest tourist attractions. It's known for its glacial lakes that seem to stretch on forever, steep rocky cracks that have never been touched by civilization. Stark contrast to highly developed cities like London, it still retains the natural beauty it had for at least 100 years. What was that? The desktop just adjusted. Fancy clothes, gourmet meals, and thrilling entertainment are great and all. Definitely something to be said for that kind of leisure time where you can just lose yourself in your environment. Is that where those one cliffs are? Hey, Horsey. Horsey still hasn't cheered up. What's going on with her? Is this your first time to the Lake District, Artorio? Huh? Yeah, I was just thinking. So this is the famous Lake District. And sure is as pretty as a picture, isn't it? So just as quiet. Did I mention why is Artorio upset? But I just read the last chapter like 2 days ago, but I mean, we talked with Barghest. And you have no poker face at all, do you? You're obviously still thinking about what Barghest told us, right? Don't keep it to yourself. This barrel got truly Morgan's master, huh? Okay, oh that, right. That is the question. So of course, the real question might be, is Morgan actually a servant? A heck of a conundrum, that's for sure. Horsey and I have been going back and forth trying to square that circle ever since we got here. First I thought Morgan was the king of this lost belt. Same, and she'd pretty much have to be if she's been ruling here for 2,000 odd years. But after meeting Morgan and Beryl in Camelot... You mean when Beryl said he was Morgan's master, and she didn't deny him? So Morgan's not Beryl's servant, but Beryl is Morgan's master. That's a brain buster, ain't it? Don't even know where to begin. Any ideas as to how that could work, Da Vinci? I'm afraid not. Just too little information to work with. Yeah, pretty much. If Holmes were here, he could string a number of theories together into a plausible hypothesis. But he's not, and he won't tell us anyway. Come on. I'm recording audio, right? Yeah. What about you, Artoria? You come up with anything? I do have one idea, I think. But I'm going to be Holmes and not share it with you. Remember what you said about masters and servants? The kind of things Count has done so far. But I'd rather not think about it any more than that. If I'm right, then Morgan would be impossible for you to beat? Or you'd rather not even fight at all if you don't interrupt her. Even fight at all if you don't have to? Appetite? What's wrong with not wanting to fight her? Who says you have to try and beat her no matter what? Kinds of things Chaldea has done so far. What does that mean? Don't be cryptic. Who knows? Chaldea's goal is to acquire Morgan's Grongo Midian. The Child of Prophecy's goal is to ring the 6 bells. Trust me, I heard Angel's Child of Prophecy poem in London Demon enough to last a lifetime. And there's not a single verse in there about killing the queen. Well, isn't there like redacted parts of it? But Morgan herself told me to defeat her. Did she now? She's just playing everyone's antagonist because she doesn't dare trust anyone anymore. But I'm not saying any more than that. All I care about about's Masha and Horsey finally being reunited. So Abatrad obviously met Morgan in the past, and we're probably gonna see that. You can't go around trying to please everyone else all the time. Sometimes you're just gonna tell them to piss off. Pardon my French. Only Habitrat's allowed to say that. No more chit chat. Already got a few more settled our way. You remember Barghest's warning, Horsey? Good. Then don't hold back. We're all counting on your firepower to get us through this. Okay. Oh yeah, I brought Morgan, right. Right. This is kind of awkward. Morgan's helping us. She wants us to win, actually. This one? Then don't turn away. And get him, Morgan. Those are all Yongo minions, right? What? Come on! There goes my... I mean, I guess versus Berserkers, with only one buff, it's not gonna hit that hard, huh? I mean, I guess we could definitely double loop it now. I think, right? Okay, so let's use this. This. Switch them out. This is. Which one's the? I think this one's 20%. Yeah, and then this is the smaller one. Okay, now she has enough. Wait, hold on, use this too. Okay, now Morgan should have enough attack ups to kill these guys. As if that doesn't do it, the crit. Take care of one of them. Oh yeah, this has overcharge. Right. Although I did look at Morgan's overcharge. Kinda sucks. Well, it's bonus up versus man attribute, which is nobody knows what any attributes are. Come on, those aren't a feature in the game. Am I gonna be? Okay, no, okay. 50%. Okay, we're going all out. And wait, does that give? Well, we might as well use it on someone else because he's gonna go in sleep mode. We do have Kaleidoscope instead of so what's it? Like the Black Grail. So there's one in as hard as it could. Let's see what it does. And we're missing the Kogan Sky above. Only 91k though? At least we got a crit out of it. Okay, good night, Morgan. I wonder if there's a way around that. Like, do you think someone like whatever your consort you right now? She removes it before the normal thing, doesn't she? There's gotta be some way around it, right? Who's coming? Is it Kogan Sky again? Dark, yeah. Ooh, has a circus outfit on for some reason. Not too silly like that. Yeah, crit. Oh, a crit, but we're gonna get the Buster looping to work, guys. Trust me. By the end of this. I mean, really, I probably just need a Kogan Sky of Light, but oh, I haven't. Oh no, this is Kogan Sky of Light. I think this is damaging. I don't know. Ta-da! Engine, yeah. This better hurt. That snap is cool though. Charge loss, okay. Okay, maybe, you know, Morgan sucks, I just have to wait for HorseyEatYou to come out. HorseyEatYou. Look, HorseyEatYou is how I pronounced it in my head. I can't stop now. I don't know if that's correct or not. It should be if it's not. The last monster is certainly new for Britain. The boys really are stronger around here. That's because the fairies that used to be were really strong. Makes sense? This used to be the Northern Fairies' holy ground. She's suddenly really knowledgeable all of a sudden. Looks like it's gonna take us at least a full day to make it through the Lake District and get to the North Coast. I don't think we'll make it more than halfway today. We should look for a forest where we can make camp before nightfall. Say, have a shot. Do you know this area? You said you were originally from the north, right? Yeah, I guess. This place hasn't changed in forever, so I at least know it better than the south. Why do you ask, Differency? Want a history lecture from old Happy Cat? If you could, that'd be great. I never heard much about the Lake District going down south. Do you think, this is where the tree is? And you remember, Fairy Britain is always growing from, like, the dead fairies, right? So this is, like, the origin point, kind of? Gotcha. Okay then, but just until sunset. Long ago, Britain used to be way smaller. Oh, I'm a genius. Back then, this area was all ocean. Oh, never mind. At the time, Britain was the only landmass in the world. At least, the fairies thought so. So they worked to expand the isle. Then one day, when they'd expanded it up to where Manchester is now, they noticed there's a forest on the far shore. That was this place. The British Lastboat's Lake District. Forest in the middle of the ocean. That's where the northern fairies come from. They've been living off the fruits of that forest all that time. The northern fairies? So they're Nogna-Ray's ancestors? Yep. 6 clans in the northern fairies have totally separate lineages. Oh. Anyway, back in Fae era 6000, that'd be 8,000 years ago, Britain had its very first war, and the northern and southern fairies fought each other. Anyways, it's only known as the War of Spring. It happened when the northern fairies got jealous of all the land that the southern fairies had, crossed the sea to invade it. Even though their leader was super strong, on average, the northern fairies were still weaker than the southern ones. Back then, there were no humans on the northern fairies' side, only the southern fairies kept humans. So the war ended with the southern fairies' victory. Apparently, it's a total massacre. Whenever the northern fairy successors were born, the southern fairies would just kill them on the spot. Oh. Okay. That's where they got all the bodies they needed to fill in the ocean up to the Lake District. They killed so many northern fairies that eventually, new generations stopped being born altogether. Okay, jeez. What happened to them after that? Everyone thought they'd gone extinct, but nope, turned out they were still alive. The leader of the northern fairies was made of much sterner stuff than any other fairy from the six clans. Well, they weren't called the 6 clans back then, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the northern fairy queen escaped, left the Lake District, went on to make the new western island all by herself out in the middle of the empty sea. Is that Ireland, or? The western island, okay, Ireland became a legendary island no one could see, but existed all the same. Was that Skahawk? It's a Skahawk face fairy. Became the final hope for fairies who were exiled from Britain, sort of last bastion of castaways. Later on, there'd be another war between the North and the South called the War of Summer. But that has nothing to do with the Lake District, so I'll just skip that one. Anyway, after the First War, the War of Spring, the Southern fairies claimed the Lake District for themselves and began developing their civilization even further. The fairies that would go on to become the Muir clan, the fairies from Britain's northmost area that would go on to become the Wren clan, each built thriving cities here. Where'd they go? Well, I guess the Muir clan's dead. But which one's the Wren clan? I don't know. Though, of course, as you can see, they've long since been wiped out. Oh, is the Wren clan just dead? Not sure thriving is the word I'd use there. Then again, the idea of a single country enduring for more than 1,000 years doesn't really fit for us non-Brits in the first place. Wait. Well, I guess Japan wasn't really the same country, was it? Well, I guess Britain mostly stayed the same. I think the Anglo-Saxons did kind of take over at one point, but hey, you know, I don't know British history, I don't know. Morgan's Fairy Britain has lasted more than 2,000 years, remember? Of course, you can't really call it thriving either, since it hasn't advanced any in all that time. The Wren clan, I see. Britain's skies are always cast in twilight. So it makes sense that there would have been fairies who controlled their rain and other weather. But why did the Wren clan go extinct? They disappear naturally, or... Sorry, thirsty. I'll tell you that once we get to Orkney. All you need to know for now is that the Wren clan and their city Orkney were destroyed in Fae era 4000. 2,000 years after the War of Spring. Yep, they built this city around Fae era 5000, so it's one of the few British metropolises to last over 1,000 years. Now I see. So that's why Ireland's nowhere to be found. The Northern Fairies must be of Irish descent. The only Northern Fairy to survive the War of Spring was their queen. You think their queen... So it was either Skahawk or, like, Mab. But then, what happened to the Western Island? Why is that gone too? I think Mab's name is actually name dropped in the timeline, so it might be her. What do you think? So the Northern Fairies migrated to Britain, of course. Mab made that island, okay, Mab, to keep her fairies safe. She took it all back into herself just before she invaded the British Isle. As the war of summer, back in Fae Year 2000, asked the Savior and the first Tomlin fought in it too. And you guys wouldn't believe how strong Queen Mab was. After their failure in the War of Spring, the Northern Fairies coexisted with humans in Ireland for 4,000 years. The Southern Fairies only saw humans as tools for producing entertainment. The Northern Fairies, though, they saw humans as partners. Together, they built a real civilization. So it sounds like these Southern Fairies are kind of jerks and the North ones are cool. So even though the Southern Fairies had the numbers advantage, the Northern Fairies were still overwhelmingly stronger. Plus they have Maeve on their side, so I mean, come on. First, Queen Mab wanted to wipe out the Southern Fairies as payback for what they did to the Northern ones. But eventually, Ask managed to broker a peace between the two sides. As part of the deal, the Northern Fairies were ceded the north part of Britain as their territory, and welcomed into the fold as the King clan. That's when the 6 clans we have now first came about. The rest, you guys already know. Anyway, with that kind of bad blood between them, no wonder the fairies of the north and south still don't get along even in the era of the High Queen, right? Right, I totally remember my fairy history, yeah, of course, yep. Totally, yep. Basically, all you have to remember is that there was a big battle between the clans in the last years of the Fae era, right before the era of the High Queen began. What about the start of the Fae era 14,000 years ago? You know anything about that? Nope, not a single record of Britain's genesis. Ask and the first Tomlin tried their hardest to track one down, and all they learned was the story of the 6 fairies. 6 fairies as in the 6 original clan heads? Oh, and the ones worshipping the god. So you already know about it. Yep, it's that moral. I don't remember all that much about it either, but if you want, I'll tell you what I know as a bedtime story. Not that there's all that much to it. At best, only makes for a decent lullaby. Okay, thank you for the lore lesson, Nasu. I'll collect 1 white item as a battle drop, cool. 1 yellow and blue, awesome. It's good to be getting these done. Assassin. Well, I guess we should bring this Artoria. She's better. And doesn't she have like your own unique buff? Let's go back to just keep things simple. Anastasia. But if it works, it works. Plus, like, since I don't have everyone's skills at 10, 10, 10, it obviously works less. But I think once I do, oh, fatal battle 1 out of 3, what? Ghost! I'm afraid of ghosts! That's no way I can do this. Oh, I guess that's why this chapter is called Albion, isn't it? Is the history lesson. I'm guessing things are going to start heading towards the climax then, right? I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of got to, because here in the north we're going to ring the 4th bell, get Mashu, probably find out about the Mir clan, who I'm assuming is up here, and we just gotta head. That is less than I thought. Luckily, we got 2 arts guards. Then we just have to head back down to, was it Oxford? Ring that bell, then check on Morgan. It's assuming the bell's up here. I think it is because that's where Colin Castor is when we find him. I remember that. I think we'll use this here. Because that art step is useful for getting more like gain out of it. But I assume Colin Castor is related to the Mir clan in some way, just because. What else is he doing, right? Like, I remember I had a reason for thinking that. Was it the wolf? The wolf guy, you know, the dog who Colin. Remember, like Grim. Remember? Oh, come on, it's another solo one. I had a reason for thinking that. That reason is long gone, but yeah. Hope this finishes it. If not, no big deal. But yeah, it's kind of weird going from like a, not failure, but failure-y Manchester to, oh, now the plot's going into gear. I think Natsu looked at the script size, he's like, oh my god, I have so much left. Not quite, I think. Yeah, just a little off. Oh yeah, there's Prism of Hope. Okay. Yeah. Well, I still don't totally get the point of that last chapter. Like, also, I was thinking, I'm kind of getting the sense that Bartgeister is going to die before the Morgan fight. Because, the way it was talked about, like, her opening the gate and Artori's like, yeah, nah, we don't need you to do that. Kind of get the sense she's just gonna, like, get killed by Morgan. Or even Tristan. Beforehand. This spot looks perfect. Okay, guys, that's enough for walking for today. Go ahead and set up camp. I'll go fetch the water. I don't want anyone making any innuendos. I'll go gather brushwood. I mean, firewood. Is that what they call it in Japan or something? Says Da Vinci. I'll go write a report for the border. I'll go lazy around for a while since I'm just plain tired. Yeah, you do that, Habitat. And I'll put up a boundary field to ward off animals and insects. Gosh, camping is so much fun no matter where you do it. Roger that. All hands move out. Ah, ghost! All that's left to do now is rest up for tomorrow. Yep, I think now's a good time to call it a night. There don't seem to be any dangerous creatures here, so... Hold it! I haven't told you guys about the 6 fairies, like I promised. More lore, just what we wanted. Oh, sorry, happy yet? Please go right ahead. Don't worry, I'm listening. That's pretty important after all. Okay, now which diary was it? Ah, here it is. Happy Cat's History, page 153. Came ocean at the end. There's ocean at the beginning. After the shooting star passed, the land all ran into rivers. Long, long ago, as far back as time can go, so this is like the creation myth. 6 fairies went outside to find the world had become an ocean. So, they had a world beforehand. It sounds like. There's no land, no rocks, no fish, no birds. And of course, there are no mountains or forests. The 6 fairies love more than anything. The 6 fairies didn't know what to do. Wait, was this 14,000 years ago? In which case, there could be like a Safar incident where the world got like destroyed or something, but not all the way. Which is how this Lost Belt founded. This is awful, they thought. How terrible our world has become. Then a large shadow rose up from the ocean. Belonged to a giant fluffy creature. Oh yeah, he's nice! Look how nice he is! On his shoulder stood one of the animals the Fae believed was gone. The animal on his shoulder called the fluffy creature Cernunos. Cernunos, the animal, the 6 fairies soon became friends. Wait. They didn't mention humans, but do you think this is the first human? I mean, humans are animals. It wasn't easy living on the ocean. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do. But Cernunos made things better for the 6 fairies by sheltering them from the waves. Who's gonna die first? However, the animal said that Cernunos was a god, and he needed offerings. So the 6 fairies offered Cernunos their joy. And they offered Cernunos their wish. The ocean without waves is nice, but we still miss having land. So the fairies' wish was granted. Then after the rejoicing ended, the guy grew tired and fell asleep. The 6 fairies revered Cernunos for granting their wish. Oh, they got more land without killing each other. That's nice. They made grateful use of everything that was left behind. Thus did the Isle of Britain come into being. May the first 6 fairies find salvation. The end. Well, I thought fairies couldn't, like, procreate, though, so how are there more fairies? Was that helpful, Artori? Is she asleep? Wow, you're amazing, Abby Cat. I don't know how to snore without talking. I don't know what that was. Can't believe how much you know. Is she talking in her sleep? Pretending to be awake? What about the rest of you? Muramasa? Da Vinci? Horsey? I'm fine, I'm still awake. I knew it! You gotta be patient if you're gonna make a good spouse one day. Okay. Seriously, that was really was helpful. Seems pretty clear now that the giant beast from the memorial, Cernunos, really did exist, along with the 6 clan ancestors. Also, what do you think that animal riding on Cernunos' shoulder was? I can only think he was a human. I think so too. Gods do like having mouthpieces. My guess is this human is Cernunos' priest. They're probably there to share their god's word with the world. Well, we know it was a female. I don't know. I see. So that means when Britain was first created, there was a god, a priest, and fairies. Well, they called it a priestess before, remember? But now there's no god, no priest, and the only humans that exist were made by fairies. Gotta be something more to this story. Maybe that's what Morgan's hiding. Ah, come on! Hold on. My heater kicked on, I turned it off. Seeing how many stories where the gods completely died out on the air of the High Queen, you're probably right. But that leaves us with yet another question. If this story is true, it means Cernunos gave the Southern Fairies, the 6 clan ancestors, this land. But then, who gave the Northern Fairies the land with woods on it in the Lake District? Oh, that's a good point. Oh, I know that one. This is a secret only the Mir clan and those born before the era of the High Queen began knew, but... So, either Habitat died around... Like, either she's gonna die in the next fragment or two, or she is total rot. A certain being's corpse lay somewhere in the Lake District. Even if the world had become totally blank, or an empty sea with no life, it remained all by itself without decomposing until it eventually transformed into a small forest. Well, we know it's not Cernunos because he's in the hole. Albion the Border, the last dragon. Oh! Albion's a dragon. The corpse it left behind when it failed to return to the paradise of Avalon became the Northern Fairies' homeland. Okay. That's lore? Is that why Artoria has dragon blood? I always thought that was just Nasu making a pun because Pendragon. I mean, I think that is a good stopping point. 40 minutes in. We presumably went to bed after that. So yeah, that works. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you guys next time with, I don't know, more lore or something. We'll find out. Bye.